It's Thursday in the evening. I've had a pretty humbling day today after a bit of a hectic week. Disappointing and frustrating week. So enrolled, I enrolled onto a IT course. Um, I went through like basic IT. It's three. Well, I'm due to get three quals at the end of it, all level two quals. Um, the first module on the course is just basic IT. Um, the second module is now I can't remember which way they go now. It's either programming, I think it is. The second module is programming, and the third module is web design. Um, I say I was getting enrolled on it, and it was all it all based whether I was starting because I was supposed to start like on Tuesday, and and whether I was starting or not was down to whether I could get the legacy fucking piece of junk over there working, and I didn't. Uh, I can't get it to post. It's refusing to post, which means I'm not going to speculate. I've got to put it to one side now until next month when I get a little bit more money and I can actually uh, test out what I think. It's going to be one or two things. It's either going to be the power supply isn't able to um, isn't able to manage with the with the needs. I mean, the power supply I've got is like a 650 watt. I thought it would be sufficient, but I don't think it is. So I'm going to get next month a 750 watt power supply. Fingers crossed. That's what it is. The other thing it could be is the motherboard. Now it's the motherboard. It means I'm tearing it down again. I really don't want to tear it down again, but it means tearing it down again, and I'll be able to return the motherboard and say, "Hey, look, this motherboard's faulty, and I can get a replacement motherboard." But I've tore this thing down so many times. I just wanted to be the power supply. I really wanted to be the power supply. But anyway, obviously I didn't start my course. So when I realised that I wasn't going to be able to start the course on Tuesday, I tried first of all to get in touch with the girls in the office to try and get help from the DWP. And what they said to me was, "No, you can't help any help." Um, as I understand it, if the reason why I can't get any help is because I'm still claiming universal credit, which I shouldn't be on universal credit. I should be on the long-term disability is what I should be on. But again, they're dragging the heels over the decision on that. I'm almost certain that they have to back backdate me uh, when I do end up on long-term disability. But anyway, they wouldn't give me any help. They wouldn't give me the help that I needed. So I had it restarted, or what they call it today, but it's a restart that I'm under at the minute. And I like the guy that I see in the restart, fellow called Sam. I said to him the first time I went, and I said, "Look, I shouldn't be doing this. There's no way anybody's ever going to fucking employ me while my my mobility is like practically zero." Um, and he was like, "Sound with that?" I said, "But but I might as well use this time to to take courses and like get some quality to my name." So going down this IT route because the IT is sort of I first did IT about 20 odd years ago, and it's always been like just a um, hobbyist sort of thing. Um, but now I take it seriously. I mean, I want to learn programming. I want to learn programming. So that's why you put me forward on this course. So I passed the exams to go on the course, And I was up until like fucking 1 o'clock in the morning doing it. And when I was having the induction, the fellow was having the induction with Mike was laughing. He said, "What did you start? When did you start?" I said, "Well, I actually started at like about 11 o'clock because of the insomnia. Like I told him more about the insomnia and all that. I said I'm just like wide awake around about that time, so I just blasted it all late at night. So I went from like the night time into the early hours in the morning doing all the exams. So it was all registered there, and he was shaking his head, going, "Well, you passed anyway. You got through anyway." Um, but yeah, the um, I had to email him. I had to email him on Monday and say, like, look, sorry, but I won't be able to start the course on Tuesday because, and I told him, I said, I'm not, I've asked for help and I've just been told no. So he's forwarded the email to somebody else in in the organisation, saying, asking whoever this other person is to liaise with me and get me on a future course, which these courses are like 3 or 4 months long, so it might be 3 or 4 months before they actually get me on the next course. Um, so yesterday I was back with Sam. I was back with Sam yesterday in Bootle, and he said to me, he said after like we chatted for a while, and he said to me, "Look, he said this is the irony of this decision by the fucking DWP, right?" So I said, if the reason why they wouldn't help me is because I'm still claiming the universal credit. If I wasn't claiming the universal credit, EJ, I was on the long-term disability, which is what I should be on. Did help me, and as Sam pointed out, and this is where it's fucking mentally insane. Sam pointed out, he said, if you were on the long-term disability, he said you wouldn't be here, you wouldn't be doing this, you wouldn't have to do this. And I said, yeah, so who's making these fucking stupid ass fucking dumb decisions? It's just these people who supposedly run the system. I don't know the fucking ass from their elbow. They really fucking don't. Because it's ridiculous. So anyway, um, the humbling moment. Sam said to me, he said, look, he said, I can try and get a grant for you. He said if I can get like £160 grant for you, you'd be able to get like a Chromebook off like Argos for 160 quid. And I was like, yeah, sure. Thinking to myself, like, I'm not gonna fucking get this, but So he goes through the paperwork and I sign the paperwork and what have you. And then when I'm gone, he fills it in, what have you. And but he says to me, he says, hopefully you'll hear in the next like 24 hours. So I get up this morning and the first thing I normally do is like look at my emails and I check my emails. There was nothing there in the emails, but I thought, it's early. So a little bit later on, I was just about to do something to eat to me tea. I thought I'll just check my emails again, and I got an email from someone that was connected to these guys down with the Restart guys. And when I clicked on it and read, Sam, Dewest, I think his name is Donald. Sam, whoever his name is, whatever his shit name is put you forward for a grant, and we've granted a grant of 25 quid. I was like, what the fuck? What am I supposed to fucking do with 25 quid? Um, he said the codes are below. And I looked below and there was 3 codes. And there was one for 25 quid, there was one for 50 quid, and there was one for 100 quid. So I was like, what the fuck? So I've just claimed £175 in vouchers. Now I've got to wait for the physical vouchers to come through. And then I can go and grab I've had a look on Argos. And there's 3 at the minute. Hopefully there will still be 3 when these vouchers come through. But there's 3 that I can get at the moment. Two are 160 quid and one's 170 quid, I think. They're all Chromebooks. One of them that, fingers crossed, touch wood, I hope it's still there by the time the bloody vouchers land, is an Asus Chromebook that is got 75. It should be 230 or something like that. It should be, but it's 160 quid, 159.99 in Argos at the minute, and it should do me to get through the course. Which hopefully, fingers crossed that'll get me through the course. But fingers crossed that it's still there. It's still at that price when these vouchers land. But other than that, there's the other two ones. One's 160 and one's 160 and one is 170, and they're both the same. They're both the same product. Samsung Galaxy Chromebooks. The only difference is one's got 11-inch screen and the other one's got a 14-inch screen. So I can afford, if the Asus one sells out or is not at that price by the time I get the vouchers, I'll be getting the 14-inch 14-inch Samsung. So yeah, I was kind of surprised. I didn't get the 160 quid to go to 175 quid. But it was just seen in the email that it said like £25 grant awarded. And I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with 20? And I looked down and there was like 3 codes. And next to each one, it had like £25, £50, £100. And I was like, fuck off. Great. Straight onto the website and claim them. So yeah, I'm just going to wait for them to be posted now. Good. So yeah, so it's been a frustrating week, but it ends with a nice little surprise at the end of it. So I think what I'm going to do though, while I'm waiting for this course to come back around again, Sam's looking for any Python courses that I can jump on in the meantime. And I know there's a few online free courses, basic coding that I'm gonna I'm gonna take a look through when I get the Chromebook. I'll take a look through and study. That's all it's going to be for the time being. I am going to go down this path, this IT path. I'm not too fussed about the web design part of the course, but like, why not? Why not? It's another string to the bow, innit? Another string to the bow. Anyway, that's all I've got for you. That's me. I'm out. Look after yourself. Love you. Bye.